be talking about Google and some of the great things that Google has to offer for the classroom. So I actually use Google Chrome as my browser, my main browser for the computer. So you can see I have Safari here, but I like to use Google Chrome. First, you really need to encourage your students to have a Gmail account. Of course, you'll want to sign up for one yourself and encourage your students to do so. Then, if you go here to the Google Apps, one of the things we're going to be talking about today is Google Forms. So I don't see it here, so what I need to do is I need to go into Even More from Google. And if we look at all these things. But let's look here. I want Google Forms. A lot of these are things that you can use in class, actually. Gmail we just talked about. That's a free email account that you can sign up for, and you'll need to really use all these well. Google Docs, that's something these documents you can keep in your Google Drive, so they're always there. This is something that lives on the internet. Google Slides is basically PowerPoint in Google, so it's something that's automatically saved. Google Voice, this is something that a lot of our teachers use. Actually, you can get a Google Voice number for free, and it's something that a lot of our teachers use instead of giving students their personal phone numbers. One of the things I wanted to talk about today is Google Forms. So if we look in here, I clicked on Google Forms. This is a really neat way to give your students a survey. So if I look here, I might say, let's say I want to use this Google form as an exit ticket. So I'm going to have already emailed this to my students before the end of class, and then I'll have them go on there and do it. This can be in different formats depending on the technology you have available. If you're in the computer lab that day, you can obviously just have them go in to their Gmails and use this. You can have them do this on their phones, which is something that my students really enjoy because they all have their smartphones. So it's nice to kind of really utilize them in class. So the first question I'm going to do here might be open-ended. So I might say, what is something from class today that you would like to go over? I'm going to change this to a short answer question. So they might want to type their question. Then maybe I want to do a multiple choice question. So let's switch things up. Let's say we're going over the past tense. So my mother blank me to sew. So I'm going to make this a multiple choice question. So I'm going to say, is it teached? Is it teaches? Is it taught? Okay, so you can see this, you can make this as long or as short as you want. I'm doing this as an exit ticket, so maybe I just make it a few questions. And then here's where you send it to your students. So you could already have a class list made up of their Gmails, and you can put their email addresses in here and send it to your students and then say, let's log in and do our exit ticket for the day. You could also send these to your students in between classes if they're, accustomed to checking their emails from you. Again, or if you're in the lab, this is something that you could do anytime during class. It's nice to have something that's in a survey format. I've done it with my students, and it's a really great way to communicate with them using technology.